Today's the 4th, so I was just bringing Nucci back to school. Um, and no, in my area, it's a very big mix of Polynesia. Mostly, I think, Korea, but there is some others. In zip code 11361 was not always the case. It's just been for probably since I moved to Cold Spring Harbor. But anyway, so now my question is, inside Bayside, I'm thinking like the perimeter for which I was delivered in 11361. There's something called a Fort Totten, Forttotten. I'm in international waters. I'm military, but I'm soft serve military. I'm not armed service. So now and there's confusion amongst the ranks there with the international other problem that's going on with letting people on and people lands and other people taking advantage of things. Less state inspections because they don't know what they're like. Well, are we taking out Q from you, or is that a QU, or is that a CU, or I guess it's I mean, all right. So like, who's leading? It's like the ass end of a horse, I swear. So there's a 1-star looking. I mean, like, they got big military gates, and they're behind the barbed wire with their camouflage specialness and their weaponry of specialness. And then the soft serve public is outside, and, like, doesn't really, like, pay attention or even know they're there. Including, like, the village. So now my question is, I don't know, because there's no, like, civilian, I suppose is what they call it, myself and the rest of the soft serve community. Like, are the people who are working out of there, are they living in Bayside? Like, who, and here's the other thing, the word base, BASE, it's like a bullhorn, BULLHORN. They don't teach that in New York. They mean like base is like a placemat of operation that stems, like where you're planted, and then your like your stem and your flower like come up, like the root part, right? So, but in my linguistical prowess and research and entomology, it has come up that they have sprouted base, whether it's BASE, BASE, is a bullhorn type loudspeaker for which, like a treble and a bass, right? So my question is, who is making because I also read that South Korea opened or sprung up, I don't know how, and I don't know who makes these decisions and these allowances, a United States base, BASE. So now is that like a placemat? Or is that like they got a bullhorn and now they're just pushing up on the America's shores whenever the fuck they please, because nobody under the 1-star dickhead nation that's running backwards? I'm just curious. Anybody living know these answers? Like, where does a civilian go? Like, there's no armed camo handsome just walking around this. Like, I caught one once. He was really nice, but like, I didn't have my questions ready. Like, you understand? Like, how do you, like, these are important things, yet in the local public of like the nobody specials like myself, like nobody says anything. So now I'm just curious. How did all this, like, you guys aren't fucking gods. You're running shit like you are gods. And you're ignoring the gods that exist. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you all? Seriously.